that would have helped police identify them. So police are left investigating these clues. Primetime has learned the thieves wore weightlifter gloves, which don't have fingertips, so there may be prints. And because the guards saw the robbers' faces, police artists composed these sketches of the suspects. With the uncomfortable spotlight growing brighter, Tiffany's will run this ad tomorrow, doubling the reward to $50,000. Because of the notoriety of the robbery, police say it could be difficult for the thieves to unload the distinctive jewelry, perhaps netting them just 10 cents on the dollar. Still, it's a record at Tiffany's, and until it's broken, these robbers will be known as the ones who stole the most from the best. You think you'll get them?
I know I'll get them.
How can you be so sure?
I've been doing this for 29 years. I know I'll get them.
Our thanks to James Walker. We'll let you know if they find their men.
I'm Jim Gardner for Action News. As many as 131 people are dead in the crash of a USAir 737 just outside Pittsburgh. The flight began in Chicago, was bound for Florida. The full details on the crash and AccuWeather next on Action News at 11.
Team needs new jerseys. Person has to deliver them overnight. Goes to post office. Finds express mail as a smart solution. Guarantees delivery. Jerseys arrive on time. Person avoids getting sacked. Person needs to send resume to New York. Wants to make a big impression. Goes to post office. Finds out priority mail is a smart solution. Resume gets noticed. Person gets job. Now if he can only get a cab.
Hey, nice bowl of cornflakes.
Yeah, I eat them all the time.
Well, you could eat total and get 100% of 12 vitamins and minerals. Try to get that from cornflakes, and you'll have to add more than just milk.
Like what?
Well, you could try strawberries for vitamin C, wheat germ for some E.
What germ?
Asparagus for folic acid, spinach for A, oysters for iron. Look out.
I'll try total.
Whole grain total. One bowl, 100%. Hey, looks like you like it, too.
More now in the crash of USAir Flight 427 near the Pittsburgh Airport. An airliner bound from Chicago to Pittsburgh, eventually to West Palm Beach, Florida, which crashed about 7 miles from the airport at 7:19 tonight. James Albert, who is the Beaver County Commissioner, is on a cell phone now and is on the scene. Mr. Albert, tell us what you see.
Well, right now I'm not on the site. I was up at the site earlier. We had to go up to the site so we could come back, a fellow commissioner and I, John Annaline, so we could declare an emergency in this area, in our county.
All right, when you were on the site, what did it look like?
When we were up at the site, I was in World War II and I never saw anything like it. I tell you, there's debris strung among the trees. Everything's all over the place.
Did the plane crash apparently on impact and then break up? Can you tell from the way the debris is strewn about?
I can barely hear you. I didn't make that out.
How does the crash site look? Did the plane apparently crash and then break up, or do you think it broke up in the air? Can you tell from the way the debris is...
I can tell you right now, when we looked at that crash site, everything, there's material, parts of seats, parts of human flesh, just hanging from every place. It's just a big, big catastrophe.
I understand there was a search of the area, a wide search for possible survivors.
No, what they're doing right now, as far as they're concerned, the FAA's up there, FAA, and they've cordoned the place off. They don't want anybody traipsing through that area. And we've asked everybody to stay away from there, and they're going to cordon it off and seal it tonight, and first thing tomorrow morning, they'll go up there and start taking out doing whatever investigation they have to do. And whatever material or pieces or parts of whatever, they're going to take it out at that time.
Are there large traffic jams or sightseers trying to get into the area?
Traffic jams to beat all traffic jams in this area. But you know what? I tell you, when there's a catastrophe, everybody comes out to help. We've had more help from more fire trucks, more police, more state troopers, and that was one of the reasons we had to declare an emergency, because when this is all over, we're going to be looking for help to pay the bills.
Now, Mr. Albert, Pittsburgh, of course, Pittsburgh International Airport is one of the safest airports in the nation. I believe the last fatal crash there of a commercial airliner was in 1956.
I think that was true, and we've never had anything like that. But the emergency people in this area, the way they acted under these circumstances was admirable. I never saw a group of people, when something like this happens, it's usually the first time it happens. And these people worked tremendously to try to safeguard this area.
Thank you very much, Mr. James Albert, a Beaver County Commissioner who had been on the scene earlier this evening of the fatal air crash. Diane?
Sam, now we're going to talk with David Shipley, who is a USAir spokesman. Mr. Shipley, if you can hear me, I first want to ask if you have any new detail that might add insight to the cause of the crash.
Diane, not at this time. We do not. I have the basic information, which I believe you already have about the accident, but we have no information yet as to any causal factors.
There was one intriguing report to WTAE, our affiliate in Pittsburgh, that someone had overheard some radio traffic in which the pilot had requested a go-round with some concern, but not with great urgency in his voice. Do you know about this? Can you confirm it?
No, that would not jive with what we understand. I believe he was on the downwind leg, which means he was going to make a routine turn and come back toward the airport. That would not be a position where a crew would normally be calling for a go-round.
So at this point, you don't have any word from the air traffic controllers that he had expressed concern of any kind, anxiety of any kind?
No, we do not. The last contact he had with us was he had made a routine, what we call in-range calls. I mean, he's a few miles out preparing to land. That's the last we heard from him.
Entirely routine. We understand that the black box has been located, the box which records the communication and is preserved. Is that true?
That I can't confirm, Diane. I don't know.
There was an earlier report that it was located on this site. As you know, Mr. Shipley, a lot of people are talking tonight about the fact that there have been 4 USAir accidents since 1991. I know they are from a variety of causes, but what are you saying to yourselves inside the company tonight about this record?
Well, of those 4, one was we were totally exonerated on. That was the one in Los Angeles where the air traffic controller actually cleared our aircraft and landed on top of a smaller aircraft. There was no blame on USAir. But there's no continuity to these accidents, and we're as concerned as anyone about them. We've done a lot of thorough internal studies. We've worked with the FAA. They've come in and done what they call a white glove inspection, found no reason to believe that our procedures are suspect in any way, and we are very concerned about it as well. But if there was some threat of continuity, but there is none.
Mr. Shipley, let me jump in and ask you about the aircraft involved, the 737-300. What kind of a plane is that as far as its safety record is concerned?
Sam, so far as I know, worldwide it has an excellent safety record. There's nearly 1,000 of them flying around the world. We have 101 of them in our fleet ourselves. We are one of the world's largest operators of 737 aircraft types.
And what sort of a maintenance record does USAir maintain?
We are well in excess of what the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, requires, as are all airlines, Sam.
Mr. Shipley, can I ask a quick question? Can you tell us anything about the record of the pilot, how long in the air he had served?
I can only tell you this, both pilots were very highly experienced in the aircraft type.
All right, our thanks to you, David Shipley, USAir spokesman, and we'll be back with more in just a moment. I'm told that right now we're going to tell you about
3 agonized months. Nicole Brown Simpson's family breaks their silence.
Do you think O.J. Simpson killed your daughter?
A primetime exclusive interview about it all. The daughter, the sister they loved, her childhood, and her marriage.
We're going swimming.
And they'll share a video scrapbook with you the Nicole Brown Simpson you haven't met before.
She's an A-plus operative who pulled a C- stunt.
That's a pretty good quote myself.
Plus, he started like whimpering.
And also Washington's political odd couple, Mary Madeline and James Carville. Set the sparks flying next week on Primetime.
That's next week. Tonight we'll show you a picture of something that happened a little bit earlier, something on a lighter theme. The most elusive couple around these days, Michael Jackson and his wife, Lisa Presley, appearing at the MTV Video Awards.
Just think, nobody thought this would last.
And that was earlier tonight. And so, I'm Diane Sawyer in New York. ABC News will, of course, have continuing coverage of the USAir crash. Good night, Sam.
Good night, Diane. Tomorrow night on 2020, the renegade doctor who made himself a guinea pig and discovered a cure for ulcers. I'm Sam Donaldson in Washington. Please join us again next Thursday evening for another edition of Primetime Live.